Look, Vader. Yes, Vader, I know, but... Look, Vader, Hoth is a nice planet. The guy sold me all-terrain armored transport. How was I supposed to know they would slip on ice? Yes, I know they have 4 legs, but it said all-terrain. Vader, you can't... No, Vader, you can't blame this on me. Vader, come on. No, Vader, be reasonable. Vader, come on. You can't... Alright, this print was a total of 2 days, 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 48 seconds long. It was made by Kirby Downey on My Mini Factory. It is a total of 41 pieces and printed technically using 1 color. However, I used 2 different shades of gray because I ran out of gray film and they were out of stock of the color I originally used. Now, before we get started with the actual review, I would like to point out that this being a Star Wars video, and also the same day that Tony Dyson, the original creator of R2-D2, his death, that is what we call poor timing and bad coincidence. Because as I mentioned before, this print took 2 days to print, and I literally went on my computer to look on the information and saw that news and went, well, that's poor timing. On my part, I should say. It's, of course, sad that he's passed away, but this has nothing to do with his passing, this being a Star Wars print. But anyway, the actual print itself is really cool. You can see a bit on the camera. The body and head, and then 3 of the feet were printed using gray, just normal gray film. And then, actually, I'm gonna check this. Yes, and so that original gray, I ran out and was out of stock, so I got this silver, which is all the leg pieces, and then these little bits right there. And I think it looks better in silver than in the actual gray, personally. And Kirby printed his in like a light gray film, which also looks nice. Now, of course, as you can see, the main thing about this is the cross-section. So you've got some sort of engineering room, 4 sets of chairs, a cockpit, of course, and then this leg has a cross-section kind of all the way up here, and then the foot, which you can't see, but the bottom foot does have a cross-section. Now this has several points of motion. These guns on the front are supposed to go forward and back. However, I glued them together in the wrong order. Some sort of instruction on how to put these together, or rather what order, wouldn't go amiss. Because I had a few times where I'm like, I'm not really sure how these go together, or rather, I got them together, but I found out later they were in the wrong order, and I had to undo it. But yes, other than the guns, the legs are supposed to have 3 articulation points. That has become unglued because I didn't put a lot of glue on it because I was in a rush. Well, the hasty applying of glue has not done me any favors here. But it's supposed to move right there at the legs, at the knee, and then it's supposed to pivot along the foot. However, and this might partially be due to my poor sanding capabilities, but I've actually broken 2 of the feet and had to re-glue them by trying to get them to move, and some of the movements is a bit stiff, with the exception of the movement right here. That is good on all 4 legs. So, you know, don't print this expecting some, like, amazing movement, but it is there. Though you might need to make room for a little leeway or something. As you might be able to see, there's a bit of warping in the actual body sections, and that's because I didn't print with rafts when I started this print. Now the other side is actually pretty well decorated. This, just because of the way I had to print this particular piece to get the interior looking good, because that's what I knew I'd be displaying the most. That is really, as you can see, kind of warped, but you don't really notice it. I do, of course. It is my job to find flaws in these designs as much as it is to admire them. So I know I'm a bit nitpicky when it comes to some of these things. But the actual exterior design is really nice. There's a lot of detail on the plating, which I like. And I can see, you know, some people liking this more than the other view. It looks really cool looking at it in the camera just because it looks like it's a huge thing but so far away, and that makes me a giant. There's a fly on my lighting kit. Yes, this is just great exterior work. And also, apparently, the Kirby guy, he has a lot of cool prints. I recommend checking them out. But the interior, as you can see, is a bit sparse in the back. You could probably design some things to fit in there yourself. But he also apparently has a friend who's going to make some characters for this actual AT-AT. However, none of them are out yet from what I could tell, or at least the last time I checked, and I can't review what I can't see. So for now, this is what you get, but it is still really cool. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I am in a little bit of a rush today, so this is probably a shorter video. However, this is an incredible print. I do recommend you checking it out. And it's not a bad print. It's actually a pretty good print to kind of get started from the jump from kind of more beginner printing to intermediate and start messing with the orientation of pieces, as you saw kind of on the other side of this guy, and really kind of trying to mess around with preventing warping and kind of getting more experience with your 3D printing. This would be a good one I'd recommend for as a kind of intermediate. That's not to say you can't print it if you're really basic with the technology. It's just a good one to kind of start learning the more advanced features with. But anyway, I think that's it for this print today. So, alright, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and sharing it. Subscribe so you can catch all the amazing robotics, electronics, and 3D printing projects I have planned. Thanks for watching.